He was a patriot, and he was one again who didn't just talk about it. He walked the walk.
How the community is mourning a leader and what police are saying tonight. Cutting oil production, why the White House is calling on Congress to take action.
I want any D.C. resident to be able to have a say in what goes on in D.C.
And later, voting controversy, how a new bill passed by the D.C. Council can allow non-citizens to vote.
And we're live here in your local Ford Weather Center, finally tracking the end of the cloud cover and the rainfall across the region. Just how much longer until we see a completely clear sky? We'll let you know in just a bit.
Damon, thank you. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 5. I'm Mark Hall. Developing now, we're learning more about an NAACP leader from our area shot and killed while on vacation in Turks and Caicos. Now, there's an active investigation underway on the island. The Arlington community is mourning the loss of Kent Carter and watching the case closely as police search for his killers. DC News Now's Annalisa Gale joins us now from Arlington. Annalisa, you've spoke with one of Carter's friends about what the family is hoping for.
That's right. We know Mark Kent Carter was a man who helped to shape policies here in Arlington. Leaders with the NAACP branch in Arlington say he will be deeply missed.
So I received a call Sunday afternoon about a tragic loss of first Vice President of Arlington Branch NAACP, Kent Carter, and that he was involved, he and his guest, while vacationing in Turks and Caicos in a shooting.
The Turks and Caicos Islands police are investigating a deadly shooting that left 3 people dead, including Kent Carter, who was from Northern Virginia. Carter was a realtor, father to a teen girl, first vice president of the Arlington NAACP branch, and an Army veteran.
He served in Afghanistan and in Iraq, so he was a patriot. And he was one again who didn't just talk about it. He walked the walk. And
on Sunday evening, police say Carter was in a vehicle with staff members from a local business and one other tourist when gunmen opened fire.
Proceeded to indiscriminately shoot into the vehicle transporting the employees and the tourists. As a result of this attack, 2 persons were murdered, one from the local business and the other being a tourist from the United States.
Following the shooting, police tried catching up with the shooter's vehicle when they started firing again using automatic weapons.
Bullets repeatedly struck the police vehicle's windscreen and bonnet area multiple times. This violence, we know, is linked to drug supply and is fueled by revenge.
Julius Spain Sr., the president of the Arlington NAACP branch, is calling for a full investigation.
I know the State Department and other agencies are involved, is get down to the root of what actually happened, and is there going to be some level of accountability.
Now, the other tourist that Carter was with is expected to be okay. Today, police are still searching for those suspects. Live in Arlington, Annalisa Gale, DC News Now.
Annalisa, thank you. We're following breaking news out of Washington tonight. DC Deputy Mayor Chris Geldart is on leave after being accused of assault. It reportedly happened outside of Gold's Gym in Arlington on Monday. According to police, Geldart opened his door into another man's car, leading to a verbal dispute, and police say that Geldart then grabbed the man by the throat. Geldart has since been charged with assault and battery. He turned himself in and was released on summons. Mayor Muriel Bowser appointed Geldart last January to serve as Deputy Mayor for Public Safety and Justice. Now, in a statement, the mayor says that we take any accusations seriously and are reviewing the matter. Bowser adds that unfortunately it sounds like something that happens to a lot of people, a dispute over something minor, and we hope that it's resolved quickly. New tonight, attempted abduction. Montgomery County police are investigating an attempted abduction that happened yesterday afternoon in Silver Spring, Maryland. The young girl was in the neighborhood when a black 4-door sedan with tinted windows pulled up behind her. Police say that a male suspect got out of the car and told her to get in the car. The suspect tried to grab her, but luckily she was able to run away and was unharmed. Anyone with information is asked to contact police. New at 5, the White House is calling on Congress to take action as OPEC and its allies cut oil production by 2 million barrels per day. DC News Now's anchor Chris Flanagan is here with a look at how drivers could be impacted. Chris.
Hey, Mark, good afternoon. The move could lead to a rise in gas prices. The deal is obviously another blow to the already struggling global economy. This is the biggest cut since the start of the pandemic. The 2 million barrels per day reduction, that's equivalent to about 2% of global oil demand. Production cuts will start in November, the group meeting once again in December. President Biden today saying he's disappointed by the decision. Right now, it's still unclear just how much this will impact prices at the pump. Any spike in gas prices this close to midterm elections could be problematic for the president and Democrats. In recent weeks, the administration has touted a steady decline in gas prices from summer highs of more than $5 per gallon. According to AAA, prices have started to tick up once again in recent weeks. And in a statement, the White House says it will consult with Congress about ways to reduce OPEC's control over energy prices. I'm Chris Flanagan, DC News Now.
Hey, Chris, thank you. Well, it's a big day for Washington Commanders as their rookie running back returns to practice. DC News Now sports director Derek Forrest is in studio to give us more. Hey, Derek.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, it was a little over a month ago when Commanders rookie running back Brian Robinson was shot twice in the leg in D.C. This afternoon, Robinson returned to practice for the first time since. It is nothing short of a miracle Robinson has returned this early. Quarterback Carson Wentz saying it's way bigger than football. Robinson has been working hard to find his way back on the field, and even though he hasn't been cleared to play this Sunday, practicing today is the first big step in the right direction.
Just another line of adversity, you know, struck against me, while I was, faced against a battle with myself, and, just had to continue to work, and just do better for myself, honestly. It's been a up and down process, but I'm thankful for all the people I got around me to help me, kind of get back on my feet.
Man, so good to see Robinson back on the practice field. His status for Sunday is uncertain as of now, but as we learn more, we'll make sure to keep you updated as the week goes on. Mark.
Derek, thank you. Well, meteorologist Damon Madsen joins us with a check on the forecast. Damon, we started with spotty shower this morning, but can we see any sunshine tomorrow? It's about tomorrow.
Well, hey, tomorrow we're going to see it, Mark. We're actually seeing a little bit now, too.
Okay.
So Mother Nature trying to get ahead of the game for us here. Finally, after how long it's been dealing with the remnants, this is still the circulation left over, believe it or not, from Hurricane Ian. It just has not budged. Of course, it has not been tropical for several days, but because it's been lingering off the Atlantic coastline, it's been throwing cloud cover and plenty of rainfall our way. Now, you can see a little bit here on the satellite picture right where the center of that low still is, but it is slowly pulling away and again taking that cloud cover along with it. There's the center of circulation. The winds have started to lighten up out there. It wasn't as breezy today with winds up to only about 10 miles an hour. That's one sign that this low is pulling out of here, and the other is that we are finally starting to see some clearing back to the west. There has been several breaks in the cloud deck over Winchester, Martinsburg, and Hagerstown, and we're finally seeing that clearing off to the east as well into parts of D.C. and southern Maryland, though we won't completely clear the sky out, not just yet, but there will continue to be improvement as we move forward throughout the rest of this evening. We're going to see that cloud deck continue to pull off to the east ever so gradually, and then by the time we get into the middle of the night tonight, everybody is looking at a very clear sky as we head off into your Thursday morning. Now, along with that, we are going to start to see some changes with our temperatures as well. It won't be immediate. It's going to be chilly out there once again tomorrow morning, but just how warm are those temperatures expected to get through your Thursday and Friday? And then what is the main thing we're tracking? Could we see our first frost by the time we head off into this weekend across some of our counties? We'll have a check on all of that for you coming up here in your full forecast in just a little bit.
Damon, thank you. Well, new today, escaped from police in Prince William County. Law enforcement is searching for a man after he was able to escape from custody. On your screen is 25-year-old Isaiah Dimitri Hall, and officers responded to Bayview Apartments in Woodbridge where they detained Hall. Now, as they were walking to the police car, That's when he ran, and officers in a K-9 unit are still searching for him this evening. Anyone with information is asked to call police. Well, President Joe Biden is in Fort Myers, Florida today, surveying the damage caused by Hurricane Ian. Officials say in Florida alone, at least 100 people died from the Category 4 storm. More than half of those in the Fort Myers area. Our Washington correspondent has more.
Good evening. Well, after a helicopter tour, President Biden met with residents, many still reeling after the devastating storm. The president offered not only words of comfort, but announced extended federal aid to help the people of Florida with shelter, rescue, and debris removal. From the air, President Joe Biden got a first-hand look at the destruction in and around Fort Myers, Florida. Then he got up close and personal on the ground, promising long-term support for the victims of Hurricane Ian.
We're thinking of you, and we're not leaving. We're not leaving until this gets done.
The president and political rival, Florida Republican Governor Ron DeSantis, stood together. Joined by two of the president's harshest critics in Congress, Florida Republican Senators Rick Scott and Marco Rubio.
We appreciate the team effort.
DeSantis praised the administration's reaction to the disaster.
We've worked as well across state, local, and federal of any disaster that I've seen.
The governor and the president avoided politics as usual.
We've seen extraordinary cooperation. Number one priority was saving lives.
And while the truce might not last long, the president promises federal assistance is in it for the long haul.
Not weeks or months. It's going to take years for everything to get squared away.
According to the White House, FEMA has more than 4,000 personnel in the region, and federal agencies, including the U.S. Coast Guard, working with local first responders, have rescued nearly 4,000 people and 200 pets since Ian made landfall. According to the White House, tens of millions of dollars have already been allocated to families in Florida in the wake of this storm. And looking at the damage today, President Biden expects more money to pour into Florida in coming weeks. For now in Washington, Raquel Martin, back to you.
And what a moment that was for Danish chemist Morten Maddal. He was met with applause from members of the Department of the University of Copenhagen today after it was announced that he had won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry. Maddal was awarded the prestigious prize alongside Barry Sharpless and Carolyn Bertozzi for the development of click chemistry and bioorthogonal chemistry.